with a posh, sophisticated. I don't know. I mean, I know you're going to disagree with me, but that's okay.
Well, Kathy, like the thing is that business, sales, marketing, money has no energy.
Yeah,
They have no energy.
what we bestow on it.
And I know it for I've been doing this for a long time. I've worked with hundreds of teachers.
Yeah,
You unfortunately have these belief systems about business and about like putting yourself online and getting a website and promoting your services. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, because the thing is that it's actually incredibly smart and it leverages your time. Who's ever on the phone? You're making a lot of noise.
it's not here.
No, it's not. I went ahead and muted it. And this is actually a great lead in to the call today, is that actually, Kathy, it is coming from your end. So I'm going to mute you just real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's now the noise is gone. So this is a great point. I've already hit record, so we're live at this point. And really what I want to get into is, I will just very, very briefly share some things about my story, in the sense that when I started teaching yoga, it was something that really pierced my heart. It made me stop in my tracks. It was like the first time that someone was saying, Ryan, you're whole and complete as you are. There's not something that you need to acquire outside of yourself to be complete. And that really meant something, just meant a great deal to me. And I was raised in a Christian background where there felt like a lot of judgment. And finally, I felt like I'd found something. And I'm not judging the religion. I'm just saying this is my experience. What I can say is that in regards to when I first got, into yoga, it gave me some peace that I was looking for, like some real true peace. And so what did I do? I put yoga way up on this pedestal, way, way up. This is the pure part of my life. This is the part that is good. And then, I came from a sales and marketing background. So I was like, oh, those things are bad. Those things are less than yoga. They should not be, connected in any way, shape, or form with yoga, because yoga is the pure, and the business and the sales and the marketing, that's bad. And that belief that I held for a very long time kept me from truly seeing success on the yoga path. Because again, I'll say it again, business, sales, marketing, money, goals, none of these things have energy. It's only the energy that we bring to them. So when people hear the word business, a lot of times this corporate taintedness comes along with it. And nothing in this program is in any way, shape, or form trying to use manipulation, trying to use mind tricks, trying to get people to, to sell them, because nobody wants to be sold. Nobody does. Nobody enjoys that experience. We like it when it's a gradual, when it makes sense. And that's what we're doing here in this program, is that when people are finding you, whether in a class, whether they're finding you online, whether they're getting a referral, someone has worked with you in the past, what we're doing is as soon as that person comes into contact with us, whether again in person or online, they're starting what I call a value journey, where we're giving them things of value and we're creating that relationship with them. We're getting more trust. And the thing is that because people are incredibly skeptical these days, and rightfully so, there's people that are trying to take their money every way, left and right. There's people who are trying to sell them things that they probably don't even need. What we're doing through this program is we're building a relationship with these people, and it is absolutely possible to serve our customers online, because look at every major guru, look at every major teacher, they have an online presence. Not every single one of them, but I would say a majority of them do. Why? Because we have to meet the students where they're at, and people are online. To just think that we can just, not have a website, not have an online presence, nothing whatsoever and get business. It's possible, but truly what you're doing is you're just simply naming who you want to work with and who you can really help online. And so what happens? Those people more often than not show up in your business because you're simply saying what you can do to help them. So before we even get further into that, aspect of just promoting yourself and business and all these other things, let's start from the beginning. Kathy, you brought up a really great point, or like maybe you didn't mean to, but let's talk about business. So I said for most people, and I'm going to mute everyone on the phone because I can hear some background noises, is that in regards to moving forward with business, moving forward with your yoga business, think about it right now. When you hear the word business, what comes up for you? What are the beliefs you have around the word business? And this, again, I'm actually going to do this with you because this is a powerful practice right here. So just take the next couple minutes and actually write down what comes up for you when you hear the word business. So I'm just going to kind of write down, or I'm going to read out what I wrote down. And I mentioned it earlier on the call that when I first started as a yoga teacher, that my thought process was that yoga is great. It's up here. Business is bad. Sales, let's start with just stay with business. Business is bad. It's has a corporate flavor to it, that it's people with a lot of power, taking advantage of people, that taking advantage of others. What I wrote down now is that business, it connects people. There's an even exchange of value. Business gives entrepreneurs the opportunity to be successful and independent financially. It allows you to go after your passions. Now, I have taken so much time to go into my beliefs around money, around business, around sales, around goals. So I've released a lot of that stuff, so I'm able to come to peace with it. So I feel like I've put myself in the right mindset in order to be successful. And what often will happen is that people will have these beliefs about business or sales or marketing, and either it's conscious or unconscious. And often it can keep us back from success. And so it's looking at these. So just pick one. Pick one of these things that you've written down that has the most charge to it, that creates the most energy for you. And just close your eyes for a second. So just feel the energy of that belief, whether good, bad, angry, upset, vulnerability, fear, whatever comes up, allow that to come up. Just experience that emotion right now. Don't even have to put a label on it. Whatever energy is coming up for you when you think about business, can you just simply feel this experience? Feel that energy. And can you welcome wanting to do something about it? Wanting to push it away? Wanting to understand it? Sometimes we want to collapse around our suffering, like take true ownership of it. Can you just simply welcome wanting to do anything in this moment? Push it away, hold it close, make sense of it. Can you simply welcome wanting to do anything other than just be? Any sense of efforting? Any sense of resistance? And then can you welcome any sense that this belief is personal? This is my belief. I believe this. So one of the things that keeps us in that continuum of suffering, because we have the idea of who I is, who me is. So if we grab hold to these beliefs, this is me, this is my belief, it just continues that story. So can you welcome how personal it feels? This is me, this is I. Often we have to welcome the ego, just acknowledge it so that it will go away, at least in this moment. So can you just look at that belief just one more time? Or you can pick a new belief, it's up to you. And then can you just simply welcome that experience, whatever energy that brings up for you, whatever emotions. And then can you welcome the me or the I, the sense of ownership? This is my belief. This is how I feel. And just for this moment, just for a split second, can you simply let the me or the I go? And just be. Just be. Now, another topic that brings up a lot of energy for people is money. So just take about a couple minutes to write down the beliefs that you have about money. I don't want to do all the talking today. Is there anyone that wants to speak? Is there anything kind of an aha or a belief that came up for you that just, I'm just going to quickly unmute everyone. But did anything come up for anyone that they'd like to share?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Danny.
Okay. I think for me, it's the whole process is trust right now. I mean, when I think about just kind of a launch of leaving a corporate job in 2016, like I'm only a year and a half into this. So I have to just kind of settle down a little bit. I feel like when I look back, I've done a hell of a lot, but then a hell of a lot of nothing too, just because I'm learning as I go. So I think for me, it's just being patient with the process and just trusting myself, trusting my mentors, and allowing whatever to unfold while being strategic as well. So that's mine.
So really for you, and I don't want to, I'm trying to like kind of maybe put it into different words, is that it's about faith. It's about trust at this point for you, that you're going to follow the path of yoga, that everything will take care of itself while being smart about your business and things of that nature. Do you want to share any of the beliefs that came up for you around money?
Well, the samskara, well, I don't know what kind of language I'm supposed to talk here, but
You
has
can
been
speak in Sanskrit. I mean, I think everybody understands that.
Well, so for me, I came from a mentality of scarcity. And so it comes back to trusting the universe, trusting God there's abundance, there's a lot of fear surrounding that based on survival, based on my past, which I'm not going to go into. And so literally this journey has been about letting go of everything that's not serving and letting go of belief systems that have kept me bound up. So the step out of corporate into this world has been a part of that process of letting go and just trusting, which things are moving along. I would like to not be living in, so far there's been what I've needed. Whatever I've needed has been there. So I lost my train of thought, but
no. I mean, I get it. There's this, let's face it. What is the opposite of fear? It's faith.
Yeah.
It's trust.
So I'm not in the red. That's good.
I like the thumbs up.
I know. I'm always like a break-even girl. I mean, I do my best to never go into debt because that's just been how I've lived my life. So, it'd be nice to have more of a surplus, which I know will come in time, but I want it now. And I have to remind myself, be in the now, but you might not have it all now.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, what I'll say is I did a blog post on this on the website, why yoga teachers have a hard time talking about money. And, we're taught within the path of yoga that to go beyond the wants and to go beyond the desires is where true freedom lies. And I absolutely agree with that. What I find, though, is that if we have wants and desires and we suppress them, we actually don't allow ourselves to say, that's okay. I can go after that if I want to. That has a lot more of a success rate because you're not resisting the wants and desires. That's one of the reasons why when we start this program, we do the Vision Creator, because it's honoring the wants and desires. It's honoring what the life we want to create. And it's not just about money. Sometimes that obviously is often a part of it, because we have to be realistic in the sense of we are in a society where we use money as an exchange to get things that we want to value, whether that be food, whether that be a car, whether that be an apartment or a house. So there is absolutely a way to be mindful in the way that we use money to be a participant in society. But what I find though is when we allow ourselves to go after the wants and desires and we start to accomplish them, it's much easier to now see beyond them when you're living in this state of abundance than a state of lack where it's this life you want, like a carrot being dangled in front of your face. So that's why I feel like in the beginning of the program, it's important to honor the wants and desires. And that's why a lot of people, it's a very powerful exercise to finally get clear on what it is that you want. Now, here's the rub. Now the universe is like, okay, this is the life you want. Well, let's make sure you're ready. Let's see if that's really what you want. And that's why literally 70% of the people that enter the program go through some type of tragedy or, bad experience or death, miscarriage, deciding to sell their studio. A lot of things get shook up for people because we're finally allowing ourselves to be like, okay, these are the wants and desires. And it's almost like our body's like, okay, that's what I want. That's cool. That's clear. That's the life that I want. Now, what happens is things from the subconscious now come up to the surface to be dealt with. What is the next round of beliefs that are coming up that need to be dealt with? And that's why these things will often come up in our lives. And, a lot of times when we get really clear and things seem to be going great, then all of a sudden a shitstorm happens. We're just like, what the heck? I thought I was on this like great path, and I thought like life was going to it's just like when I went for the yoga, went to the yoga bachelor's program. When I started entering that, a lot of stuff started coming up. A lot of stuff starts coming up for people when they go through teacher training, depending upon what they're going through. If they're going like through a 30-day like intensive, that is intense. A lot of people go through a lot of crap during that time. I'm glad that I did a 9-month spread out like every other weekend, like an all-day Saturday type of event. That was a much easier process for me. I needed that. I don't know if I could have finished a 30-day straight program because I was suffering a heck of a lot at that time in my life. So enough about me. Let's move on to the word sales. See, your tongue already came out. See, there's already beliefs there that sales are bad. Listen, let me just say this real quick, and I'm not judging anyone because I've definitely had, even though I was in sales, I did phone sales for 12 years. I was on the phone constantly. Danny's saying she was too. And the thing is that, like for some reason we have have this belief often that means that we're pressuring people. That means that we're forcing them to do something, forcing them to make a decision. And I was definitely on that same path for a very long time. But the thing is that when you go and you purchase, let's say a massage, that's a sale. When you go and you buy a yoga class, that's a sale. When somebody purchases a one-on-one session with you, healing session, that's a sale. So again, these words have no energy. It's only the energy that we're bringing to it. So I'm going to do this myself. So, Kathy, I'm going to put you on the spot, if you don't mind, for a second. Was there anything that came up for you around this word?
Around sales.
Yes.
I wrote sales okay, profit, ethical, exclamation.
You said sales are okay, and you said profit, exclamation point.
Yeah, I've lost the.
It's hard to hear you, Kathy. Can you speak up just a little bit more?
Yeah, I've lost the picture, so I can't find my microphone to turn it up. Hang on a minute. I think what's happened is I've come off the home page.
Well, we can hear you a little bit better now that you're speaking up. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going back. Yeah. I mean, I think because I've always had sales going on the side. I'm used to because I've always bought things for myself and then sold to my students. So I'm comfortable with selling just as a way to provide people with what they want at a reasonable price. So for me, it's kind of profits for profit's sake becomes a problem.
To make profit for profit's sake, is that what you said?
Yeah, just, I mean, sales are fine if they're providing a service for me.
What I wrote down in some ways is if the product or service is the right fit, there is a benefit to both parties.
Yeah.
I definitely understand what you're saying, like, to make profit when greed comes into the picture.
Yeah.
That is where obviously when sales can go wrong. So let's talk about, the Yoga Mastermind program for a second. What we're learning to do, and I'm just go ahead and mute everyone just again. So when you are learning how to create your signature program, we start out with honing in on your perfect client, who you really love to work with, who needs your help and expertise, that knowledge that you have, and the people that you're passionate about working with. Because we both know that when passion is at the heart of your business, often you're going to be rewarded personally and professionally. And you're going to be working with people that you often love to work with. So creating that signature program is looking at who is your perfect client. What do they need? Where are they at right now in their life? And where is that perfect after state for them? So that your signature program it bridges the gap. So when we go out to actually market our signature program, when we first open it up to our warm market, people that know us already, we're not trying to do any manipulation, not trying to do any mind tricks. We're just simply saying, this is what I have to offer. And if there's any interest whatsoever, obviously the people will let you know at that time. No one, again, wants to be sold. No one wants, and one thing that I wrote down is there can be an aggressive energy and there can be a flow energy. For many years I was on the phone and I was basically trying to sell people. And I'll be quite honest, I was a wolf. Like I would try to sell people even if like they maybe had not needed it. I was just so driven for the yes and wanted to overcome that no that I would often stay on the phone like for 13 no's till I got a yes. Moving forward in my life, that is never an energy that I want to go back into. That's never a state that I want to go back into. So I had to kind of let go of that. And some of us have maybe had salespeople that were on the phone or in person that were pushy. Could have been a car salesman. Could have been someone could have been a realtor. Could have been someone selling you your home security. It could be many different things. And often sometimes we take that energy from that experience and then we apply it to all of salespeople or all of, when we're purchasing a larger item. I'll let, again, just take one belief. Take one belief that you have that has some type of charge to it. And Kathy, I would challenge you to think about the belief of the American selling that you talked about in your email one time, whatever energy that brings up for you. So just simply, welcoming that belief, that energy that comes up around it. Not putting labels on anything, just simply experiencing what this brings up in your mind, in your heart, in your body when you think about this belief about sales. And then can you welcome wanting to do something about this belief? Push it away, hold it close, understand it. Can you just simply welcome wanting to do anything in this moment, any efforting, other than just be? Any sense of resistance? Can you just simply experience that, whatever's here? And then can you welcome that tendency often we have to interject the me or the I in that belief? That energy of you in this thought. Can you just simply welcome the me or the I that comes up? And in this moment, can you simply let the I or the me go? Just for now, just for a split second, can you just simply let it go? Can you let that belief go? And just be. And then can you welcome whatever kind of remaining energy is still here? Maybe it's just quietness. Can you welcome the quietness? The stillness? Or the monkey mind, whatever is coming up for you, can you just simply welcome that energy? The energy of this moment. And can you simply welcome whatever is here now? Can you simply let that go? And just be. And be. And be. So let's think about the word goals and write down whatever comes up for you. So what I didn't really have beliefs. What just came up was basically words and phrases for me was first difficult, growth, moving forward, achieving the life I want, success, peace, end result, motivation, inspiration, my dreams. So, in society, especially at least here in the US, I can't speak to different countries, but at least here in the United States, it's you have to have a goal. You should have a goal. Uh, you should have a goal. You need to have a goal. It's really important that you have a goal. Like, what are you aiming for? Where do you want to be in 5 years? It's all about like basically continuously, really again putting that out there. So just think about goals for a second. Just simply think about whatever goals, whatever energy, whatever thoughts, whatever beliefs comes up for you around goals. When you hear the word goals, can you just simply experience whatever energy, whatever emotion, feelings that brings up for you? Can you simply allow that energy to be here? Again, can you think about the word goals and feel whatever comes up around that for you? Can you simply experience whatever energy is here now? And can you experience whatever that brings up in your body? When you hear the word goals, is there any type of feeling that you have in the body? Your gut, your back, your neck, your heart, your mind? And if you do have the experience feeling something somewhere in your body, can you just put your hand on that area? For me, it's my gut. And can you welcome that area of the body or the mind? And then can you simply let it go? Just let it be. I'm going to just open the airways up just one last time. If there's any questions or anything that kind of came up, any aha moments for anyone. If not, then we can end the call early today. But I just kind of want to check in to see if anything came up for anyone.
I had an aha moment. It was trying to think.
Kathy, can you speak up again, please?
Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, I had an aha moment. I think it was kind of around goals and sales, but mostly around goals, which is that I think my belief was at a very early age. And I think a lot of it was to do with, my early childhood, being one of 5 siblings with parents who were teachers, who were very critical, very judgmental, and really wanted their children to be achievers. So I know what it was. It was the word competition came into it. And from a very early age, I disliked competition because I always felt I was being pushed to compete, to be better. So I know a lot of my belief systems that have got transferred to the business world, if you like, started at an early age in childhood as not wanting to push myself forward and compete, because that's, that was seen as the thing you had to do. And then you had the fear of failure or of being criticized and judgment and so on.
Sure.
Interestingly, when you said, where do you feel it in the body? I felt it in my jaw. And I thought, okay, what's the issue there? And the word came up, determination. And there's a kind of a hardness to it. So I know I'm making this all very touchy-feely and, not businessy.
It often is. Listen, it often is. Listen, and it sometimes doesn't even make sense what comes up for us.
Yeah.
It doesn't. But at the same time, like, there's something there.
Yeah.
There's something there that has some power to it.
Exactly. So I was feeling the negative energy with the words and being able to step outside of that and see that was not me, and that was something that having seen that, now I know the feeling to let go of, or the feeling to try and release and let go of. So that was very helpful.
Good. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that, Kathy. What I'd like to do is, and that's what this is about, is that often there's stories that we have. I'll tell you, with money in my family, and it can get deep. It can get very, very deep. Like when I came into this world, my mom was already cheating on my father. By age 2, she left him to go for another married man. From what I've read and studied, that during that age, that young age, the question is, am I safe? And for a long time in my life, I didn't feel safe. It's something that I'm probably still dealing with to this degree. And so often my relationship with money was spent in a way that left me feeling insecure. It left me feeling like not stable. And something happened, unfortunately there's been some things that happened in my family. There's family members that I don't talk to, but one thing that came to me one time about a year ago was that I needed to forgive my mother in order for money to come into my life. And I was like trying to make sense of it. I was like, how does that even equate? But when I did do that, when I actually spent some time, forgiving and thinking about that relationship, my income literally quadrupled within 2 months. I have no idea why. There's some thoughts around that. My mom basically, I never felt free with the subject of money in my family, because it was like when it was given to me, it was like with an undertone of, now you must love me, now you must respect me. There was no unconditional giving. It was definitely, now you must, respect me and love me. So there was a lot of things that I had to let go of, the power and beliefs that came up around money. So this training today was really just kind of to begin to look at that, that journey of looking even further into our beliefs that we have, because often, some of us, might have, monetary goals for ourselves where we want to make $6,000 a month, or $8,000 or $10,000. There's some people in the program that have $30,000 goals a month, and there's nothing wrong with any of those. And there's some people in the program that don't care about money. They're just driven more about helping people in terms of they want to help as many people as they can. And if they are able to become financially abundant along the way, then that's just the icing on the cake. I think ultimately everyone in the program wants to serve their customers and wants to dive into that passion. It's not just about making a lot of money. I don't know any yoga teacher that got into this path because they wanted to make a lot of money. It was ultimately we wanted to heal ourselves often, and then we wanted to be able to take that and then heal others. Some of us have no intention of ever teaching. I had no intention of ever teaching. But I realized what an incredible gift it was, and how when I was able to share that with others, the joy I got as well that they had. The joy I got of giving them joy. So when we talk about the wants and desires in our lives, and we simply allow ourselves to actually go after those goals, to go after those things, we're simply just honoring what's coming up to the surface. And often, sometimes that involves money. Sometimes that involves goals. It will sometimes, at least in this frame of, in this training, it involves business, your yoga business, being a yoga teacher, or being a studio owner, or being a retreat leader. So by simply taking this exploration and looking at those terms that are often used in this world, business, sales, marketing, money, goals, if we feel that there's, some things that we want to accomplish, but we feel often that there's something maybe there that's blocking us from that there's just not a straight connection of energy with that money, with that business, whatever it is that we want, we're just simply not accomplishing it, but we feel a blockage. Looking at our beliefs around the subject is incredibly beneficial to often uncovering what's keeping us back from the thing that we're looking to accomplish. So those of you that weren't able to be on the call and are listening to the recording, I highly recommend, if you didn't do it, to go back and write down the beliefs that you have about business, about sales, about marketing, about money, and about goals. Thank you, Angela, for being on the call. Danny, I appreciate you showing up as well. And Kathy, it's always a pleasure to see you, especially I know how late it is over there in the UK. Thank you for your presence. I really do appreciate it. So all of you have a great rest of the day. Hope you enjoy the training, and I will be talking to you all soon. Bye.